Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at something called while loops. We've previously looked at the for loop before, but this time we're going to, which would do things in a controlled way. It would start with 1 and it would go through all the items. This time we're going to do a Python while loop, and how a while loop works is while a Boolean expression is true, it's going to continue to do things, and then once it's not, we're going to break out of that loop. So let's take a look at how it goes in programming. So we're going to make a random number guessing game. And previously, we've done a random number, and we use import random. So we load the random library. And then once we have the random library, we can get a random integer in the range of 1, which is the lowest bound, to 100, and including 100. So a number from 1 to 100 is going to be generated. And we're going to assign this to a variable called secret number. Not too secret, because we're going to print it off on the next line. So let's just run and see if we get a secret number. And in fact, we run it. It says 74. It looks perfect. So we got a secret number. Okay, so now let's make a guessing game out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the input statement and get an input from the user. So let's, I'm just going to copy and paste it from what I previously had worked on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable called yourguess. And so yourguess is going to be an integer, and it's going to be from the input, and it's going to say guess a number from 1 to 100. So we're going to guess a number between 1 and 100. And we're going to see if we can get the secret number to match. Well, we'll use the if statement, and our Boolean expression here is that our guess is, your guess variable is less than the secret number. So the secret number, I have no idea. It could be 74 like it was just a second ago, or it could be something totally different. It's a new game, of course. If it's too small, we're going to print off your guess is too small, and then we're going to ask them to guess again. Now, if another Boolean expression, because not always are we going to guess too small, our guess could be too big. So we're going to say, is your guess bigger than the secret number? Well, that could be true. And if that's true, we're going to print off it's too big, and we're going to ask them to guess again. Finally, you have a 1 in 100 chance to actually get the secret number correct. And so the else would be, yeah, it wasn't too small, wasn't too big, so it must be just right. So we're going to print the secret number and what you guessed. Now, I'm going to display the secret number so I can see if my logic is correct and things are working right. So let's run this secret number guessing game. Okay, we're in, I can't see the tabs. Shoot. I'm taking it that there's too many tabs here. So that's a problem when you copy and paste from something else. I might have copied too many tabs. Okay, so it says the secret number is 4. And so I'm going to guess a number. And typically, if I'm playing guess the number, if I'm guessing a number between 1 and 100, I'm going to guess right in the middle, because I've got sort of a 50-50 chance that it's going to be too small or too big. And so guessing in the middle is going to give me the best odds of getting it right. And it says 50 is too big, which of course it is, because 4 is bigger than 50. And so I would guess a smaller number. And this time I would probably go with guessing something like 25, and I would guess 25. But the game ends before we get to have enough guesses. Okay, so how are we going to get the game to keep repeating? And so that brings us up to the while loop. And what the while loop, we can keep executing while a condition is true. So I'm going to make another variable when the game starts, and I'm going to say that variable is called game over. And it's going to be false. Because the game is not over yet. We haven't started playing yet, so how could the game be over? And so what we're going to do is we're going to keep looping while the game is not false. Okay, so and it has to be either true or it has to be false. Okay, and I guess I should capitalize the F in false here. Great. So how a do loop works, let's put a do loop in here. And I'm just going to write some code here, the while loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this key statement here, and I'm going to say right above here, I'm going to put while, W-H-I-L-E, while it's not game over. So game over is false. And so while it's not false is true. So while it's not game over, we're going to do everything in the code. And so everything in the code, we put a colon, of course, needs to be indented. So I need to go down to the next line here, and I need to indent everything. So I'm just going to quickly go and indent the code that I've done. Will only take a second. So we're going to keep doing this while the game is not over. And so what's going to keep happening is it's going to keep asking for a guess. And if we're wrong, it's going to get, say, too small or too big, and it's going to get another guess. And then if we get it correct, we're going to say game over is now going to be true. And that will break the loop out. So let's run the program and test out our simple guessing game. So we can go run module, and what we're going to do is our number is 70. So I'm going to guess 50. That would be a natural first guess. 50 is, of course, less than 70. It's too small, so it asked me to guess again. So this time I would guess 75, and it's, 75. And 75 is too big, so I want to guess a smaller number. And, shoot. I need to, I accidentally put something in. By the way, my loop, I didn't want this in there. Let me get this out first, too. So let's just go back again to how, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first get a guess. And while game's not over, we're going to keep asking the user to guess. So let's run it again, and this time you'll see it should work just perfect. I'll just make 2 guesses, and then I'll end the game. So the secret number is 66, so I'll guess 50. Too small. This time I'm going to guess 75. It's too big. This time I'm going to guess 66. And it's like, yes, the secret number was 66, and then the while loop ends. So real quick, how a while loop works is a while loop has a condition. Let me pull up another example of what we could do here. I'll pull up my notepad so you can just take a look here. So a real quick review, how while loops is we have a variable and a condition. And so the while loop is going to run while this condition is true. And everything that's indented is going to continue to execute while the condition is true. Okay, for this exercise, see if you can make a guessing game that maybe guesses a number between 1 and 50. And if it's too big, say it's too big. If it's too small, say it's too small. And also, when you guess it, make another variable that's going to keep track of how many guesses it took for you to get the correct answer.